What an exciting BMW championship for Keegan Bradley and among others, including Justin Thomas, who gets into the Tour Championship in last place. But he's in. He's top 30. That's an achievement, especially when you're struggling in your game. So congratulations to you. Keegan Bradley was the champion here at the BMW. Okay. Now, this whole podcast really is about why was Keegan selected as Ryder Cup captain. I believe I have some insights that will prove, I don't know if it's going to prove it, but I believe this is why they chose him to be Ryder Cup captain. But nonetheless, the dude is playing some great golf. 38-year-old Keegan Bradley has won major championships, 7 total PGA Tour victories. He won the 2011 PGA Championship. Now, the Ryder Cup is sanctioned and run by the PGA of America, who also runs the PGA Championship. So they typically pick PGA Champion winners to be Ryder Cup captain. Not always, but that's typically kind of, if you have a PGA Championship victory on your resume, you get a good chance of being a Ryder Cup captain one day. So here's what's interesting about this whole deal is that Keegan was not selected for the previous Ryder Cup, even though he should have been. And everybody knows it. And the really big thing that happened after the fact was the Netflix special. When that came out, it was a whole new wave. Like during the selection process, Zach Johnson, he should have picked Keegan and others, but he didn't. Keegan really was the one that you would think the dude had a great resume. He had a great year. He was playing incredibly well. He's a great team guy, but he doesn't get selected. So then the whole Ryder Cup happens. USA loses, and then the Netflix thing comes out, and it's a whole nother wave of, man, that dude got hosed. Because you see Ryder Cup captain Zach Johnson hanging out and sharing houses with like Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler, and he ends up picking these guys for the Ryder Cup. But he's not hanging out with Keegan Bradley, and Bradley gets off the list. So it had this appearance that it's a boys' club. He's not in the club, and so therefore you're out. And that's how really Netflix in the Full Swing documentary made it look. Now, editing and everything can make it look however they want it to look. Nonetheless, to all of us who watched it and saw it previously unfold during the selection process, it looked bad from the beginning. And it looked even worse after the fact. So, whatever, what are you going to do? Then they lose and everything comes out. And then Keegan gets selected to be the next Ryder Cup captain at Bethpage Black in 2025. Okay, then I was always thinking to myself, why would they pick Keegan Bradley to be the Ryder Cup? Like, how did that go down? And Tiger Woods said that he really was working on a lot of other things, and he has his kids, and he's busy. So he doesn't really have the time that it takes to put into it. So he bowed out. Now, he was really the one to be the next captain, and he backed off. But I'm thinking, man, the Ryder Cup is the one thing that, Tiger would play in every single time. That would, like, all these guys play in that, and they say it's their favorite event, and they wouldn't miss it for anything. And then all of a sudden, it's your turn to be captain, and you pass it up. Now, sure, he's going through recovery, and so there's a lot of other circumstances that play out to make it sound like it's legitimate, and it may or may not be. But I was like, gosh, it just seems like if you had a Ryder Cup chance, why wouldn't you take it? Maybe you want to wait, especially it's at Bethpage Black. Okay, Tiger's won there. He's a huge fan draw in that part of the he's a huge fan draw anywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter. But it's home soil, okay? It's in New York or Bethpage Black, so it's like somewhere you have had massive success, And it's a Ryder Cup. So why would you turn it down? I'm thinking, okay, why would you turn it down? Maybe you turn it down because you're going to focus on your game so you could play your way in, so you could play on the Ryder Cup. I could see that being a reason you turn it down. Fair enough. The whole other stuff, it's possible that, okay, my kids are really into their thing. I'm going to support them. I want to be around that. Yes, I could see that. And so maybe down the road, you'll be captain again. You will be captain at some point. You'll wait. That's a possibility. The other reason he might have turned it down would be because he just doesn't think the United States has a chance to win. So therefore, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that team, these guys. No way. Based on, look what happened to Zach Johnson and all the kind of pushback he got, I don't want to be a part of that. That's a reason. I don't want to get the hate. If we're unsuccessful on home turf, I don't have anything to do with that. That could be a reason. It could also be a reason he turned it down is he wants to win on foreign soil. He might say, look, I want to win. I want to go up against the toughest test in a few years. Potential reason of backing out, not giving us the real true answer. Or maybe he just doesn't like the dynamic between PGA Tour and Live Golf, and he doesn't want to deal with that personally at this moment. He wants to wait until something gets worked out and then get back into it later. All right. None of those, I think, are the reason. Obviously, I think there's a different reason. And here's what I think. I think Keegan was a full-on bent out of shape for not being selected last year for the team. I think it rubbed him the wrong way, and he didn't like it. And I think he was being enticed by Live Golf to come over and join Live. And they were throwing a lot at him. That's what I personally think is going on. And that in order to keep him, because the PGA Tour has lost a lot of guys, and here you got the next kind of hot golfer and somebody who's got a lot of fans. People root for Keegan. He's a team guy. He is that bulldog fighter that you want in a battle, in competition. Keegan would be one of my top picks. I would want to go down swinging with that guy by my side. Like in the battle, right? In the heat of competition, you want somebody that you can trust. And like I would have picked him. That's why I would have picked him for the Ryder Cup team. But that's what you want. And so he's got that persona, that energy, that vibe about him. And so if he was being pursued by Liv, and a lot of guys are being pursued by Liv, and if he's entertaining that and thinking about it, how do you keep him? Because he's one of the few that you have left that you need. Like, okay, you've got Scheffler and Spieth and Fowler and Thomas, but Scheffler's really the only one that's doing anything. Like the other guys are kind of not always there. Spieth is out of the Tour Championship. Ricky Fowler's hit or miss at the moment. Justin Thomas he's struggling. You got like these popular guys, and Xander Schauffele, although he won a couple majors, he's a phenomenal player. I'm from San Diego. I went to San Diego State. I root for the guy, but he's not the most exciting person to watch. Keegan, on the other hand, when he's in it, he's exciting. What he did this past weekend at the BMW was exciting. I was pulling for him. It was a great watch to see him holding that trophy with his dad, all of that. He went from the last guy in the field, the 70th or the 50th dude in the BMW, to now he's in fourth place. It's ridiculous. He went from last to fourth. He's just, 4 shots back of Scotty Scheffler? That's unbelievable. It's amazing. Now, the whole Tour Championship thing and how they work it out. Scotty Scheffler, this is how it works. If Scotty Scheffler won every tournament and all 4 major championships and won every single event he played in, okay? Let's say he played in all of them and he won them all. The best he could do is have a 2-shot lead going into the Tour Championship. That's how ridiculous it is. Like, he couldn't win the FedEx Cup. The best he could do is 2-shot lead going into it. And he could have won everything. That's how kind of whacked it is, unfortunately. But good for Keegan. He has a legitimate shot of winning the FedEx Cup. He's not even on the President's Cup team at this moment. Hopefully he gets on that. So I think what was going on is he was being suited by Liv. And then the PGA Tour is like, man, this is the one guy. Like, we got to keep him after the whole mess that went down in the last Ryder Cup. The Netflix full swing painted us as just a good old boys club. And we didn't pick Keegan. And now if he bolts to Liv, oh my gosh, it's going to be a disaster. Plus, when he's in the mix, he's so fun to watch. He is a fan favorite. And he's done collaborations with other YouTubers and stuff like that. So he is a popular draw. How do we keep him? And they said, well, they're kicking it around. And then they go to Tiger and say, hey, Tiger, here's our idea. We want you to be the Ryder Cup captain, sort of, but we want you to turn it down. And then what we'll do is we'll give it to Keegan because he got hosed the last time around. And then that will at least keep him on this tour for the next 2 years. We'll get him the rest of this year and all of next year, and he'll be here for at least a little while. It's our way to lock him down, get him some extra cash, get him some extra stuff, get him some extra clout and credibility, and that'll be our way of hopefully keeping him. And then we'll put it just in the Ryder Cup clause that, look, you can't leave and go to Liv. Like, there'll be a penalty if you do that during this course of action because you'll have to reimburse us for whatever it costs to get a new captain. So I think that is why they did it. And it's a smart move. Personally, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, we can't lose that guy. Let's keep him. So I think that's why he got the Ryder Cup captaincy. Little did they know, he might play his way on the dang team. And if I'm Keegan right here, right now, I tell everybody, I'm playing on the Ryder Cup team no matter what. I don't care what happens. Too bad. So sad. Keegan, you earned it. You earned the President's Cup. By the way, you're going to get picked. And you earned from last time Ryder Cup playing privileges. So regardless if you're captain, it don't matter. You're a player. You play in that Ryder Cup. It's in the Northeast. You're playing. That's the bottom line. That's what I'm saying. And I don't care why they gave it to you. You earned it. And you stole it. And it doesn't matter. I think it's good that you're doing it and that you are the captain. And I'm glad you're on the PGA Tour. And it's going to be an exciting ride. Let me know your thoughts on this because I've kind of been kicking this around a while. And I think that's why they did it. I don't think it was right, but I think he earned it nonetheless through it all. Great job, Keegan. Congrats on the win. I hope you win the dang FedEx Cup too. Just take everything the PGA Tour has. Take it. Take it with your bulldog fighter mentality. That's what we like to see. Great job. Peace out.